Hello students. Today we are going to start our fourth lecture in the e-science learning of Vidyadis Vidya Sankul in standard 8 science chapter number 1 crop production and management. In today's lecture we are going to start about the next topic in the crop production and management, and we are going to see the last remaining 3 topics in the crop production and management. We are going to see about the agricultural practices. The 2 steps are remaining from the previous lecture, and that will be the weeding process, harvesting process, and afterwards we are going to see about the storage. So there are lots of processes or lots of ways to do the storage of the crops that we have product in our field. Afterwards we are going to see about what is the procedure regarding the animal husbandry, in which we are going to see about how the animal husbandry we can manage, and what are the advantages regarding the animal husbandry and what are the disadvantages regarding the animal husbandry, that we are going to see in today's lecture. But going on that topic, before going on that topic, let us take a brief preview on the lecture that we have already on the previous session that we have already finished. Okay, so in previous lecture we have seen the crop production and management chapter. What are the basic definition regarding the food, what is the different types of food that will be available. We have seen the basic definition of crop, we have seen the types of crop, we have seen the agricultural practices in which we have seen the preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizer, irrigation, protection from weeds, and in today's topic we are going to see the harvesting and storage, and afterwards we are going to see the food from the animals. It means simply it will be called as the animal husbandry. So we are growing animals into some kind of farm that will become known as the animal husbandry, that we are going to see in today's lecture. Okay, but going on the first topic that you have already done, that is the crop. So if you put a same kind of plants on the large field, and that can be called as the crop. Afterwards we have seen the types of crop that will be based on the different seasons. On whichever the season we are sowing the seeds into the field, that can be categorized the types of crop from the eligibility criteria. Okay, afterwards we have seen the types of crop that we divided the crops onto the 3 types categories, and that will be the rabi crops, kharif crops, and we have seen the zaid crops based on the different seasons they are available. Okay, so we're going to see that once again, and these are the examples for the types of crops that we are growing into our fields in day-to-day life. Okay, also some of the students, I have noticed that some of the students have doubt regarding the agricultural definition. So once again I will explain you the agricultural definition, because many of the students have asked me that, sir, what is the definition, or what did agricultural means. So generally it is the branch of science. We have seen there are branches of science that can be called as the physics, chemistry, biology, and there is a much more branches of the science that we are studying. Afterwards we have done the 11th-12th science. Okay, so there are lots of science branches available, but in one branch, which branch, in one branch if you study regarding the farming, then the study of that branch will be called as the agriculture. So for example, if I studying in the space, if I studying afterwards the science has completed, and if I study for the space, then I will be doing an astronomical study, and it will be considered in an astronomical branch of the science. Okay, so like that wise we can say that whenever I study the science branch of the science that deals with the plants and raising the animals, okay, it means farming. Okay, suppose if I am studying of farming in some kind of colleges, then I am doing an doing an agriculture. Okay, that can be easily said that if I study regarding the plants or if I study regarding the animals, okay, how to raise them, how to grow them, afterward how to manage them, okay. So if I am doing that type of study, that can be considered as the agriculture. So this is the basic definition, and I hope so now that you can now you all have understand what is the definition of agriculture. We have seen the crops. I have already told you that if a same kind of plants can be grown into the field, that can be considered as a crop. Okay, on a large large portion, that can be called as the crops. We have seen the types of crop. We have seen the Kharif, Rabi and Zaid crops as you can see on the screen. Okay, for example, I am not giving because we have seen so many times in 3 lectures we have revised them. So now onwards we are going to see to the next topic. Afterwards, in agricultural practices, we have seen the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps regarding the agricultural practices. Now crop production practices, it also means the agricultural practices. Now what are the steps to grow the crops that can be considered as the agricultural practices? For example, here are the 5 steps that we have already finished. To prepare and to make the plant or to make the crop as per our usage, to make sure it satisfy our usage. So for that reason, what we have to do, that we have to do agricultural practices step by step. Otherwise the crop or the plant can't get the enough nutrition or can't get the enough energy or can't get the enough minerals in itself, so they are not enough to give and not satisfy us. So for that purpose, what we are going to do, that we are going to do agricultural practices step by step to grow or to make sure the plant makes itself very useful. So first step, we have seen the preparation of soil, in which we have seen the 2 kinds of method, in which first we have seen the loosening of the soil, loosening or the tilling we are used, because what we have to do, we have to make sure that all the crops or all the plants are ensure the all the nutritions from the soil. So for that, and also to make sure, we have to put the seeds into the soil. To put the seeds into the soil, what we have to do, we have to loosen the soil, and afterwards we are going to put the seeds into the soil. Okay, so we have seen the loosening or the tilling process. Afterwards we have seen the leveling process, in which we have used the 2 equipments to level the ground, because we have to ensure that the ground level is equal from each and every point. Otherwise what happened, that if the ground level is not equal, then some of the seeds can get the more nutrition and some of the seeds can not get the more nutrition. So for that purpose, we are going to use the preparation of soil step. So we first make sure that how can we prepare the soil. Afterwards, the second step will be a sowing. Sowing means what? Then we are putting seeds into the soil, that can be considered as a sowing. Afterwards, we have seen that the 2 kinds of method which we are using for the sowing, that will be broadcasting and by using the seed drills. Okay, so that seed drill can be used manually, or this seed drill can be used besides the tractor. Okay, adding manure and fertilizer will be the 3rd step in the agricultural practices. It is the step to ensure that whenever the nutrition level or the minerals level of the soil gets decreased, so for that purpose, what we are gonna do, we are gonna increase the nutrition or minerals level into them. And for that purpose, what we are going to do, we are going to make sure that manure and fertilizer will be added to the soil, and that increase the level of nutrition and minerals to the soil. For that, we are using a manure that can be made from the organic components, get it from the nature, and in fertilizer we can get the nutrition or minerals level from the artificially we can make it, okay, from the chemical process. Okay, both the uses are same, but this is the making process will be very different. Okay, next we have seen the irrigation. Now afterwards planting the seeds, afterwards giving the nutrition to the soil, what is the another step that we are going to do, that we have to give them a water. And for giving a water, we have seen the two methods regarding that. The first one is the we can use the ancient techniques for the irrigation, and we can see the modern techniques for the irrigation. We can use the ancient techniques, that will be using a Dakley or a pump or a moat, that can be considered as the ancient or the old techniques, okay, traditional technique. In the modern techniques, we have seen the two methods, that will be a drip irrigation system and sprinkler system. Okay, a drip irrigation system gives us that how to give a water to the each and every plant individually, drop by drop we can give the plants water. Okay, so this will be called considered in a drip irrigation system. And afterwards in a sprinkler system, we have seen that the sprayer, we have to put the sprayer into the field, and that sprays the water into the field. Okay, so that can be considered as the sprinkler system. After we have seen the protection from weeds, the weeds are the unwanted plants that is growing on the farming, and that we have to remove, because otherwise what happens, the main or the original crops are growing with them are also getting waste. Okay, so they are also getting decomposed. So for that purpose we have to make sure we have to remove the unwanted plants that surrounded by the our main crop. Okay, now we are going to see the harvesting topic in today's lecture. Okay, first we start the harvesting topic. We have seen all these and recently we have talked about it. So now you have revised the whole lecture, and now we are going to see the next topic regarding that, and that will be harvesting. Okay, so this is the harvesting. Okay, now in the last lecture we have seen, but we have seen very fastly that topic. So now in this lecture we are going to see the harvesting very much slowly, so that you can understand easily. First I am going to explain you that harvesting is what. Generally afterwards growing the crops, or afterwards the crop will be grown, what should we have to do? First we have to cut them, okay, from the field, because if we are not cutting the crops, it will get wasted or it will get decomposed. Okay, so whenever they get mature enough, so we have to cut them, and we make sure that the whatever the products we are growing from these crops, we have to take them. For taking the products regarding that, what we have to do, we have to cut the crops, and this cutting process of the crop will be known as the harvesting. Harvesting means taking out. Okay, we have grown the crops, now we are taking out from the soil, or we are taking out from our field, and that cutting process will be defined as the harvesting. It is generally done by sickle or the machine called the harvester. The two types of equipment are generally used. If you are doing manually, then you have seen the sickle in some of the places wherever you are. Sometime you will go to the you drink the nariyal pani, then you have seen the sickle on the hand on the shopkeeper's hand, because they are doing that, the nariyal gets whatever they are doing, harvesting them, and afterwards they given you the nariyal. Okay, so have you so I think you all have seen the sickle. Okay, so this sickle will be used to harvest sometime manually in a crop production field. Okay, and also the machine called harvester. Okay, we are going to see the harvester in next slide. So I will show you what is the harvester machine that will be used to harvesting, means cutting process. Okay, that can be easily cut down all the crops in the field, and also it will consume a less time amount. Okay, regarding to the sickle, because in a sickle what we have to do, we have to cut each and individually plants, while in a harvester it makes sure that it will cut all the plants that will be coming out in the field. Third points are, grains are separated from chaff by a process called threshing. Now what we have to do, if the grains are coming, then the grains have a merging with our crops, and it also consists the sum of the amounts of seeds or whatever the products consist within him. So now what should we have to do? We have to separate them, And if the separation is done by the chef, then this separations process, because what happened if we have to take out the cotton plant, then suppose we have cut the whole crop or a whole plant from the field, then the plant and the cotton will come both together. Now what we have to do, we have to separate them. But this is just the example. We are going to see about the grains that are coming from the field. I am just giving you an example of cotton. If I remove a cotton and a plant from each and individually separation, then it is also said to be a threshing, but not a proper threshing. Okay. So threshing is carried out by a combine, the harvester plus thresher. Okay. So this is generally a combine. Combines means a combo. Combo of what? Generally it is a combo of harvester and a thresher together. It will be called as the combine. This will be used in the large field area wherever the crops are growing in a much more higher rate, and it can be also considered as a very much useful because it consumes a less time amount, and it is also very efficient as compared to our manual. Because suppose what we have to do, if we have to do the grain separation by manually, then some of the useful plants gets not enough separation, and we have thrown the useful plants because if we are bored sometime, if we are not doing it properly, if we cannot see the properly, then we cannot do the separation properly. So for that purpose we are going to use the threshing, and also we are using the combine machine. We are going to see now what is the harvester in the next slide. Okay. So here are the sickle. If you have seen in the I don't know, harvester means that here is the harvester. If you see that the cutting process will be taken out from that. Okay. This is the machine that will rotating around the field, and it caused the cutting process of the plants. Okay. So this is the way the harvester will get. Okay. And also in the next slide we are going to see the combine. Combines means both process will take to both the process will be part together. Okay. This is the combine, and this is the recently very much useful machine in the field because it does both the process. Okay. Like that it cut also, and afterwards the cutting process, the crops get in there in the machine, and this machine also separates the original plant and our main product. Okay. So here you can see the grains will be get separated from here. Okay. Generally it will be much more useful while we produce the wheat. Okay, so this is the useful production. Okay, and useful machine, and it gives us the efficiently work. Okay. Now the last part of the agricultural practices, and that will be the storage of grains, in which we are going to see about. Now if suppose what happened if I don't store the plants or the products that will be come from the plants, then what happens, then some of the insects get onto them and damage the plants. So for that purpose, or so for if the product doesn't get waste or product doesn't get decomposed, for that purpose we need to manage the storage of that. So after the threshing, grains are dried in the sun and then packed, we are going to see that we have to store them. Farmers store food grains in jute bags or metallic bins. Okay, as you can see, the farmers are what we do. They are doing a storage into the grain in the jute bags or metallic bin. Large scale storage is done in the silos and granaries and stored in the godowns. So on a large scale, if a large scale production will happen, then we can say that they have to store the large amount of crops they have grown, and that purpose what they have to do, they have to storage these plants into the large scale. For that purpose they have to use the much more bigger area, and this much more bigger area will be known as the silos, and granaries are stored in the godowns. So they have used the silos and godowns for the large portion of the area or the large portion of the crop production storage. At domestic level, dried neem leaves are also used. These are the very less useful method, okay, but these are the much more efficient method, and these are very useful methods, and they are very useful to storageation. Gotta see the silos. As you can see on the screen, these are the silos. It means it is a storage. There you can see the wheats or the grains that they are afterwards the threshing process, they are stored into there, okay, and then afterwards they are packed into some kinds of bag and then released into the market. Now, what are the factors that is responsible for grain loss during the storage? So there are some of the biotic factor and some of the abiotic factor that will decompose or waste the crop that we have stored, or that we have stored, grains that we have stored in the storage. For that we are seeing the biotic factors are insects, rodents, birds, mites are the biotic. Biotic means living factor. So these are the living factor that will affect our crops or our grains that we have stored. Okay, so for that purpose we need to manage the storage, and that is the purpose we are gonna taking a different kinds of safety measures in our storage. Also we are gonna see the abiotic factors, that will be the temperature, moisture. This will also contaminated our crops that we are that is growing in the field. Okay, these are the factors that will be temperature, moisture, humidity, material of container. These are all the factors that affect our crops, and that contaminated or waste or decompose our grains. So for that purpose we still need to manage them. Okay, and for that purpose we are going to use the storage measurements, okay, or safety purpose. Measures to prevent the grain loss. What we have to do if we don't want to waste the grains, then we have to do these types of methods, in which we have seen, which we are going to see the drying before storage. So first of all, what we have to do is first step will be drying. Drying means we have to dry them into the atmosphere by the sunlight that is coming on to them. So that purpose the temperature cannot affect the grains that we are going to store in the storage. Maintenance of hygiene. So for this is the main reason, maintenance of the hygiene, this is the main measure to prevent the grain loss, because maintenance of hygiene is very needed. In recent time, if you have seen the coronavirus, in all of the places the hygiene levels are getting much more higher and efficient on each and every place. Okay, if you have seen that if you go to somewhere, then first you need to wash your hand with sanitizer. So in also this is the grain. Suppose if you have some kind of health issue and you go to the grains storage, then what happened there? If you sneeze there, okay, then the viruses or the bacteria are circulated there, and the grains that we have stored there are getting lost, because viruses, bacteria are growing at a very high or fast rate. So for that purpose we are going to use the maintenance of hygiene. Okay, so it will also prevent our loss of the grain. Plant product treatment, okay, in which we have we have to do the plant product treatment, in which we have separate the plants and the products, and afterwards we have separate these plants and products, we have treated them very well, so that they can also take the safety measures by itself. Okay, then prophylactic treatment, in which we have seen that the human it will be also the some of the things that you put it into the grains, and that will gives us the protection from the contamination. Last one is the improved storage structure. If we are using the storage structures and if we are improving the storage structure, that will also make sure that our grains cannot be loosened. These are the disease of crops. Some of the disease you don't know, don't even hear the name, but this is the disease in the crops. We're not gonna see that. Now, sustainable agriculture means what? We have enough idea regarding the sustainable. Sustainable means what we have to do. We have to manage the mixed crop. We have to make sure that the by getting out a less money, we can get the more production. Everywhere we have seen that you have to give a less money and you have to take a more product from them. So for that purpose, what we have to do, we have to do a sustainable agriculture. That means we have to make sure in a one field or in a one place we are going a same kind of 2 or 3 plants or 2 or 3 kinds of crops into that field, and that can be gives us the very much efficient work. Only a one types of crop production cannot give us the enough money. So what we are doing a sustainable agriculture. Agricultural practice that can continue for very long time without damaging the natural resources can be called as the sustainable agriculture. It can be done by mixed farming, crop protection, mixed cropping and intercropping. These are the methods we are going to see. Intercropping, so first one is the intercropping. This is the intercropping in which you can see that this is the maize, this is the soybean, the 3 types of crops are grown in one field. So in each and individual season we can take whatever the crops we have to take and we can get more money. Okay. In next, mixed cropping, in which we can see that the 3 types of crops are grown together, and that can be called as the 3 sisters. If you want to learn that, you can pause the screen and take the screenshot of that. Okay, because it is a very easy topic, so I am going much more faster rate. Now the green revolution, it is generally the green revolution that will be started by the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, the father of the green revolution. They have in recent year we have seen the Narendra Modi is taking a much more steps for the green revolution, that we have to make our India very green. Okay, for that that was the aim of the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, and we are going in a much faster rate for doing that. Okay. Now we are going to see the last topic of the animal husbandry. It means the science of a branch of the science which deals with the scientific management of animals, or how to grow the animals, because some of you have know the omnivorous also are present in our human beings. Okay, we have seen the herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous. So what the omnivorous do, they eat both plants and animals. So they want the animal as the rate of the crops that we are growing. So for that purpose we are doing an animal husbandry. In animal husbandry we can see that how to grow the animals, afterward how to safely ensure them they will not get contaminated. Also they have very much high health in them. So for that we have to study regarding them. Okay, if we want to grow them, we have to do the study regarding them, in which we are going to see the study regarding the breeding. Now what is the breeding? Generally we can say that a process by which young plants or animals are grown or produced, that can be called as the breeding. If you want to write the breeding definition, you can write, I am saying once again time, that if we are there is a process of producing younger plants and animals is said to be the breeding. Okay, so in which what we have to do, we have to grow the younger plants and animals, that can be called as the breeding. Afterwards it is the feeding. Feeding means we have to give them a food. So by the process which we have we have to feed them a food, okay, is called as the feeding. To grow healthy animals, what we have to give them, we have to feed them a natural food, we have to feed them a higher nutrition food, we have to give them a higher minerals food. Okay, so the process of fed them a food will be called as the feeding. Now what is the heeding? Heeding means what? Whenever the process of removing or process of taking the in charge of health issues regarding the animals will be called as the heeding. Okay, it means in process which we have to do that we have to take care of the animals. Okay, so for that purpose we are going to see that it helps, we have to manage the health and we have to give them a safety measures of the animal. For that we have to do the heeding process. And the last, there is a weeding process that will be the same as the plants weeding process. Okay, in which we are gonna use the what we are gonna do weeding process, that the unwanted or the unnecessary plants are we have thrown. So in that process we will do the same. Okay, the unwanted or unnecessary animals we have to breed them, or we have to heed them, or we have to fed them. Okay, those animals are not thrown away from the field, but they are taken care of the following 2 or 3 steps. Okay, so in today's homework you are going to write about, I am writing the homework. In today's homework, what is harvesting? Explain it in brief. Storage in crop production. Steps for animal husbandry. See, these are the 3 questions that you have to write in today's live lecture. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for hearing this lecture. We have finished this chapter, and what we have to do, we are going to start the new chapter in the new lecture. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. And if you had any kind of doubt, you can ask me by calling me or personally WhatsApp me. Okay, till then, bye bye everyone, and take care of yourself.